Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty deep.
Here we go. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Ready. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And some room to work. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 43 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play call.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They start the drive with Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Josh Sweat coming in strong and dropping him behind the line of scrimmage.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside, but he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
On second down, it's Cook again. And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last two plays, both losses. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. But you've told me before, it's great to be an athlete. A lot of great athletes out there. It's good to have instincts, and he has those.
I would take those above athleticism in a lot of cases, because if you know where the ball's going before anyone else can get there and block you, you can make up for lack of athleticism by being in the right spot at the right time.
And took him down in the backfield with those instincts.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continued.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Eagles have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0.
Vikings nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47.
The tackle made by Brandon Graham.
Now Cousins on 4th down. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. There he goes, left side, 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. 128 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0.
Eagles 21, Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball. We've seen this offense do some unconventional things thus far, but they couldn't go for it on 4th down here, could they?
Could someone patch us into the head coach's headset? Punt the ball.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there And now fourth down.
Harrison Smith on the coverage.
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, first and 10.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Cousins from the gun on third. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, tell all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercepted. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long.
Deputy Ranger. Dixie Maverick.
Here's Hurts to throw. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. Nice third down conversion and even 20 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles continue to pull away here in this first half. Elliott good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So,
and the third interception thrown by Cousins. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Throwing is Hurts. This is caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown, 29 yards. And the Eagles have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now.
35. Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. He's at the 40. The 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, you're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they broke it up.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff from way up at the 23.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here we go, set.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. On first down, Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5 at the 32-yard line.
Got a man, it's Brown. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Warriors, 70. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Mustang 19.
On first and 10, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
It's caught by Sanders. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. This is Smith with a grab. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers.
A 37-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
To kick off for Philadelphia.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
The Vikings take over first down 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 146 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll go again with Sanders. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Running right, here's Sanders. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And it's third down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Come 19, Panther 11, Panther 11. 99 Broncos.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
At the 2-yard line.
Sanders. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup.
Brought down just shy of the goal line. It's a gain of a yard.
Sanders again. And he will not get in. In fact, he might have lost a yard. Back to the 2. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short.
Brought down just shy of the goal line. A gain of a yard. It's now 4th and goal.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Cousins now to throw on first down. Smith catches left side. And some room to run, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards. Well, for a tight end, he can definitely motor it. He shows off the wheels there after the catch as he's able to shake free. First down, here's the run with Cook. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Now Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
A second down throw for Cousins. And now here is another interception. And the Eagles are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking the ball.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
He'll buy some time right. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL.
Come on.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And room there to work it inside the 25. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. He'll drop to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule. That if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
19 tight.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Boy, 196 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. His throw incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Elliott on for the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And his throw here is incomplete.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Running the jet sweep, this is Thielen with it. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Oh, here's a running play now for Thielen. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A 1-yard loss on the play. It's now 3rd and 10.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Cousins. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And that's caught inside the 30. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. A first down throw for Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up third down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Cousins again. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking out the late touchdown here, but still down big. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you know, this is a chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3